A lot of inexperienced property salesmen are going to just try to sell your property to make a commission. You can pay for courses at a very low price and get a good understanding of how property investment works. I went to business school. They don't teach this there. What should you look for if you're looking to hire a consultant? The number one, I believe, is welcome to the Passive Property Investor Podcast, where I teach you how to stop trading your time for money with property investment. I'm Jerry Parker, your property investment consultant. Let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about people like me. Like, what do I do? You know, what is a property investment consultant? I've been in property for a very long time before there were actually investment property consultants, before many people even understood about that investing in property can be a financial investment, kind of similar to buying a bond or investing in the stock market. It's a national market, and people like to invest here because this is where the capital growth is, not so much in the stock market, but in the property market. And you get so much tax benefit from investing in property. You get to negative gear, write off your depreciation, and people understand property. So it's become a national fascination to build a property portfolio. So this property consultant role, like, how can they help you? What can they do for you? Well, they can provide the people who need help. They usually already have a job. You know, you're working and you're making a lot of money. You're making probably $100,000 to $150,000 to $300,000 a year. And when a company pays you that much money, you don't have time. You don't have time to put the research in and the focus on making these investments, but you're taking all the risk. You're signing the personal guarantees on the bank loans that will come and take your house if you don't make those payments. And so you're going into this to make money, and you need help. How do people like myself, property investment consultants, get paid? Well, it used to be they were just real estate agents, and you get paid by a fee on the property. And that's the world that I came from. And now it seems to me that they're getting paid by developers. Developers can pre-sell their properties before they even hit the market. It used to be if you had a new house, you had to build the house first, and then you would sell the completed house. And now it's banks will lend for off-the-plan property sales. And so now developers will pay people to, hey, you bring me a building contract for a house and I'll pay you a marketing fee. That's one way. And even more recently, though, is this buyer's agent agency is growing in popularity. And they run around and do all the work for you to find your investment property. And they might charge from $10,000 to $20,000 for that service. And essentially what they will do is contact real estate agents and then find you a property that's like inside a neighborhood that you can only get from a real estate agent on realestate.com or domain, and they will help you buy a property that way. And then there are advisory companies, and such as myself, that might charge a fee for service in building your portfolio, educating you on the property market, and then helping you buy a property, whether it be a brand new property from a developer or a property that you might find yourself, or even a buyer's agent might find for you, but just helping you incorporate that into a comprehensive portfolio. And that's more like a property advisory service. We can go down the food chain further, and then there are people that are just selling property education, and they're selling, teaching you about this, and it's a very low-cost education that you get because they don't teach this in business school. I went to business school. They don't teach this there. And you can pay for courses and education at a very low price and get a good understanding of how property investment works for your taxes, how it works to create capital growth, and how you can build a long-term portfolio of these assets that will go up in value. And then I have seen, though, that there are people that take advantage of this education portion. And I've seen companies, they sell the education or give you the education for free, and then they act as a virtual call center and just start selling. And they sell, 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 sell. And these operations have always been there. Ever since I started 25 years ago, they were there. They were called spruikers, and some of them have gone to jail, and it has just been frowned upon. And it creates a bit of we used to call it two-tier marketing, to where the locals pay this price, but the out-of-towners pay another price. And they come in from the spruikers, and they're paying a different price. And that's unethical, and it's, a lot of times it's illegal. There's rules against that. So that's kind of how this consulting has evolved. I have an advisory where I help people. I will charge for service to help people figure out their portfolio and work with them on buying a property. And it could be a new property or an existing property. So which type of people need a property consultant? Everyone needs the knowledge and the education. And if you don't have it, you're better off going in and paying for the knowledge and paying for the education so that you're getting the right information and from a trusted person. And, a lot of times you have to talk to people for a while to build that trust up. And this is part of my business. I talk to people, investors, and I stick with them and they stick with me, and then I help them build their property portfolios. So what should you look for if you're looking to hire a consultant? The number one, I believe is, are they doing this themselves? Do they actually have the experience? Have they had success? Do they manage their own property portfolio? And I'm talking about a residential property portfolio. So it's not like they have to be like a major developer or major investor. It's just someone who knows, where to buy and how to do it, and can help you. I've got a saying, 2 heads are better than one. They can help you think through your personal problems, your issues, and then match them up with a property. So what questions would you ask? What have you been doing in the property market? Do you own any properties yourself? And you can ask test questions and give them problems. Like, what should I do about my problem here? How should I resolve that? Or can you give me a property plan for how we're going to buy this? The questions at the beginning should be around the planning stage of your investment, not just trying to sell you a property. A lot of inexperienced property salesmen are going to just try to sell your property to make a commission. But if you pull back and start asking them about their process, about the consulting, about where they're getting their research from, then you'll be able to sort out whether this is just a simple salesman trying to sell me something, or is this going to be an advisor that I could actually glean some good knowledge and information from. So other questions you could ask your investment property consultant, or little clues that could give you that they're not the ridgy-dig. They'll use very broad language. They'll say, double your money in 10 years, or this sales and marketing language that they're using. And, sometimes I look at them and they look like they're, 12 years old, and they're talking about making me millions of dollars. And I go like, well, tell me specifically how you have made this money, or specifically, show me a property that makes that amount of money. Another scheme they'll use is just like these endless testimonials of people saying nice things about them, or the great things that they've done. And a lot of times these testimonials, they come from interviews. They interview a customer, and they ask the customer pointed questions, and then they edit the interview and they pull out all the nice stuff that was said and they turn it into a story. They create their own little story. But you need to ask more pointed questions to these people and see what they're actually going to do for you, not just talk. They need to actually build you a plan and show you properties and prove that you're on your side, that they're working for you and not working for that real estate agent's commission. So why do the customers come with me and why do they stay with me? I don't come from a sales background, quite honestly. I come from more of a property developer background. So I'm a little bit more project focused. I've got a person who I see their problems and I can see that I can help them with their problems. Let's get on with it. And so I'm going to try to solve their problem. And I know what my job is. My job is to make them money. And so we can get through, solve their problems, get them a property that works for them, and then they make money, and then they keep coming back to me, because what we're actually doing is we're building a portfolio. We're not just trying to have a one and done here and move on. So it's all about this property and the next property and the next property with our plan. From the property developer perspective, which is honestly what I think that I bring to the table, is we don't buy a property, we don't invest in a property unless we're going to make money. We have to make money before we buy. We have to see into the future and see what's coming, and then we'll buy that because we know we have a profit when we buy. We don't just buy something into the ether of capital growth or into the inflation and that little saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. That's just inflation. That's not making money. I would rather have a particular reason why you're investing in this property right now. You have to be able to articulate that and have a real reason for that particular purchase. People that work with me, we always make money. I come from a developer point of view. I'm not going to make the investment unless we make money. And that's why people stick with me. So those are my thoughts on investing your money into a property investment consultant. I hope that helps you navigate this process. If you want to continue the conversation with me and you are wanting to make some decisions, hard decisions about your investment journey, click the link in the show notes and book a call with me. Thanks for tuning in to The Passive Property Investor. If you enjoyed this episode, the best way to show your support is give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube so you don't miss a single episode. We're on all social media platforms, so feel free to connect with me there. And if you're having specific problems making your first investment or building your portfolio, maybe you don't know which location to invest in, how much you should invest, you're worried about who to trust, reach out for me down below. I will have the answers for you. Don't hesitate. See you on the next episode.